Hello folks, just going to do a quick walk around of the old bike. So there she is, Yamaha MT03, the 660 version, 2007 registration, and a good little bike for setting off again on the old biking adventure. And so far I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty clean. Well, a little bit dirty now, like I've been out on it quite a bit, and like I've polished up the exhaust as best I can, as you can see there, because there was a little bit of rust on those, and I've stuck some handguards on, the Yamaha ones, just to make it look raj, really, because they're so massive that they look just raj to me, like, but I like the way they look, so I've stuck some of those on. Yeah, it's a great bike. It'll do maybe 100 mile an hour before it redlines, because it's only got 5 gears, which is one of the things that I don't like about it, to be quite honest. You know, it could do with a 6th gear for sure. Especially when you're on the motorway or you're cruising at 70 odd, you know, it's revving out at like 5,000 revs there. So, like, and it only goes up to 7,500 before it redlines. So, but yeah, powerful enough for the moment. You know, I'll probably keep on of this for a year, or at least this season anyway. And after that, I'm probably going to go for a similar sort of bike, I suppose, but something like a Dorsa Duro, which is a pretty good bike. Although some people have had problems with them, it has to be said. Listen, that popping, eh? I love the way that pops. That's big singles for you. And what I plan to do next is put some of the Akrapovic exhausts on it, which are a Yamaha accessory, you know, as were the handguards, you know, they were an accessory, and they're still available, but they cost nearly 900 quid. That's the only thing, because they're titanium. Like, if you look at the exhaust there, it's looking a bit rusty, you know, it's not in the greatest of positions. So, like I say, but with the Akrapovic you can take the baffles out and make loads of noise and spit flames out the back. So every time it pops, flames come out, and no doubt the neighbours will come out as well. But yeah, it's a great bike. It handles well, you know, I'm getting used to it now. The engine braking on it is quite vicious, and I've got to say that, you know, that was quite a shock when I first got on it. I can't remember my last bike, which was also a big single. It was a Honda XL 600 LM, and it was, well, it did have, you know, quite a bit of engine braking, but not quite as much as this one, unless I'm just, you know, getting old maybe, yeah, you know, and the old body gets thrown about a bit easier. But yeah, so it's been great, to be honest. I've got no real complaints about it apart from the 5th gear. You know, it's working well. Just another couple of things about it. It's got decent sized tyres. It's got a 120 section tyre on the front and a 160 section tyre on the back, so tyre choice is massive. There's a lot of bikes with those sort of sizes. Yeah, there's no wrong with it. It's just a great little bike, eh? Like I say, it's not fast. It accelerates well enough, and it's got plenty of torque, you know. But you know, it's not mega fast. Like I say, top speed will be about 100 mile an hour or thereabouts, but it gets there reasonably quickly. Yeah, So great bike. So that's my bike. I'm going to go for a little ride on it now. I just thought I'd come out here to do the walk around, as it's a good backdrop, the old Vulcan. So I've got the helmet set up as well with a Hero 5 session, as you can see, and I've mic'd it up now, and I've mounted it to the peak of my helmet, which it doesn't get in the road of your vision or anything like that, and although it does, you know, from the point of view of the side wind, it does catch it a bit more now than the peak did anyway. I've tried mounting the microphone right in the front of the chin bar, and I'm hoping that's going to be okay, though you might be getting too much of my voice here. But it seems to be the place where there's less wind, because you do get a lot of wind in here. You know, there's two vents at the bottom. I'll just show you those. You can see these two vents here, they let air in all the time, so I was getting a bit of wind noise, so I'm hoping that mounting the microphone behind here has solved that, but we'll see. Yeah, I know, I've got the illegal visor on. I'm a naughty boy, what can I say? GoPro, stop recording. There's the tail end of the Vulcan. This is Carlisle, or Solway. Well, it's Carlisle Airport, but it's Solway Aviation Museum, if anybody's interested in that sort of thing. Got some good aircraft here, as you can see beyond the, or maybe you can't actually, I'll stop over there. But they've got a Canberra there, which is my favourite. There's a Sea Prince there. There's a Lightning. That's the English Electric Lightning. They've got a Hunter, and vampires and all that sort of paraphernalia there. Plus there's lots of interesting things to see inside, so if you're ever in the Carlisle area and you're interested in that sort of thing, yeah, I would go and have a peek, because it's worth a look for sure. This was an old World War II airfield, this. Coastal Command, and they were operating mostly the Bristol Beaufighter. There's the old control tower, which is a bit, to say the least, a bit manky. We'll just stop here, we can't. Sorry about that. I said the word STOP. So as you can see, plenty of planes here. That's the English Electric Lightning and the Phantom just ahead. There's what do they call them? Westland Wasp or Whirlwind, whatever they call them. Whirlwind, I think they call it. And beyond that, there's a Meteor, a Night Fighter, I think. It's either Night Fighter or Trainer, one of the two. Just in front there, the grey and orange one, that's a Sea Prince, Percival Sea Prince. You can just see the tail end of a Hunter there. That red, white and blue one. I'll just move round a bit so we can see that beautiful Canberra. Amazing aircraft. Maybe a bit more bush in the road. Oh, there she is in all her glory. I love them aircraft, like. Of course, the start of the show here is the Vulcan. but not to me, to be honest. I do prefer the Canberra. Fantastic aircraft. Still in production, well, not production, still operating as a reconnaissance aircraft till not that long ago, actually. Great plane. Anyway, I'm going for a ride out on the bike. I'll leave the camera running. Oh, it's much better going this way, that's for sure. The wind's behind us here. So like I say, I don't know how this microphone's working on this, whether you'll see this video or not. It's a bit squiddly there over the old gravel. So yeah, it's a good little bike, as I say. It's naked, you know, because I like me bikes like I like me women. Naked, that is. And, you know, potters along quite happily, 60-70 mile an hour, just, it's lovely, it's great. You know, I was thinking of getting a big sports bike, and, you know, I was thinking, oh, should I chance my arm getting something like a VTR? You know, because they're gone cheap enough at the moment, you know, and get a good one of them for £2,000. But then I thought, no, I do like naked bikes. And I nearly bought a Gladius, which is a V-twin by Suzuki, because they're gone cheap and all, about £2,000, well, £2,500, same as what this was. You get a state of these roads, eh? My God, government should be ashamed of themselves. What's the chances of that, eh? An MP having shame as one of their characteristics? Smithfield. This isn't the Smithfield that's famous for the Simpsons. Oh, that's Springfield actually, when I think about it. Whoop. Unbelievable, eh? State of these roads, unbelievable. Better slow down a bit actually. Should be doing 30, not 45. Getting a sniffy nose. It's quite cold out, like. Yeah, the wind is pretty cold, like. Yeah, slow down, son. These young lads in the souped up little cars, wind up in a hedge one of these days, as long as he doesn't take anybody else with him, which is so often the case, unfortunately. Sound like an old fart, don't I? And I am. I'm an old man. But I'm so glad I got this bike. Like, I think I would have been happy with the I was thinking about getting an Aprilia Pegasus Strada, same engine but with 6 gears and a small tiny little fairing on it. But just from the point of view of just after 25 years being off the bike, just learning to ride again, it's not got any real surprises there, apart from the fact that it hasn't got a 5th gear and I keep going for that 6th one. But also, I'm so glad I got back into the bike, and traffic's a lot worse than it used to be, it has to be said, like. It seems like there's a lot of people on the road who just don't seem to have any responsibility, or, seem to act like their actions deserve no responsibility, But that's me being old again, I suppose. Good thing about this bike as well, you hardly need to pull your brakes. The engine does it all for you. which is pretty cool. Pop. I love them pops, like pop pop. Well, this is the back of Beyond this. Old Longtown. So yeah, it's a nice bike. You know, it does what it needs to. Teaching me how to ride again, mainly. Like I say, that's us up to 70 from 30 in no time. You know, it's got enough poke. And another thing for you younger riders out there, you know, getting into the motorcycling, it's compatible with your A2 licence. Like I passed my test in the days when I was on this following you around on another bike, intercoms and what have you. There was a guy that walked around with a clipboard while you rode around a set route, and then he'd walk out in front of you and do your emergency stop, and that was, and ask you a few questions, and that was about it. The rest of it you learnt yourself. I think I was thinking of getting lessons, but first time out on this bike, it just, you know, don't get us wrong, there was a few little mistakes there, and it just seemed to be so easy to ride. I just thought, well, I'm going out and ride. Like, I still might go and get lessons, you know. You know, you can't stop learning. But yeah, it's a good little bike. Like I say, not too powerful, not too fast. Well, at the end of the day, you know, you can only go 70 mile an hour. Right, kids? Well, you can only legally go 70 mile an hour. We're heading into the wind again, getting quite buffeted, which is, I suppose, just part and parcel of being on a naked bike. Builds the muscles up, I suppose, in your neck. And the only bike I've ever had that had anything like a fairing was a VF 400, which had a little nose fairing on it and a belly pan. All my other bikes were sort of like traily bikes, really. You know, started off on a DR 125. And then I got a couple of 250s after that. A CJ 250, a Honda CJ 250, look that one up. That was a horrible looking bike, yellow it was. Then I got a Z250, which is nothing like the current Z250, believe me. Z250 Scorpion they called them. It had a chain drive, though later on they got belt drives. I can imagine they would have been a lot nicer. Then I got the VF400, and then I had to go on my mate's KLR 600, mate at the time, and I just loved that big single, like, and I just thought I've got to have myself one of them. So that's when I got the XL 600, and it was one of those well, it was one of the first Paris-Dakar replicas. Had a massive tank on it, about 5 gallons. There was no way you could wheelie it. You know, in those days you tried to do that sort of thing. I was a bit younger then, but there was no way you could wheelie it with a full tank. And it had twin headlights. It had a big red engine. Looked quite awesome actually. Well, this is me approaching home now. Oh. There's bloody cars parked. Yeah, just park on the corner, pal. So, you've been watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. And if you're riding, ride safe. And if you want to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. I'll try and do vlog every now and again. I'm not doing it for money or anything like that, so I'll just do them as and when. So, oops. So take care everybody. GoPro, stop recording.